Good morning everyone. Today I am going to discuss about construction and function of DC generator. DC generator construction, parts of DC generator. Today we are going to discuss about that lesson. So for completion of this period you would be able to know that construction of DC generators, various parts of DC generator. So here you must listen the importance and definitions, applications, constructions of DC generator were discussed. Function of each part of DC generator consists of one is yoke or magnetic frame, pole cores and pole shoes, field windings, brushes, brush bearings, end covers, armature core, armature winding, commutators, shaft. These are the parts of the DC generator. Here you can see that from in the slide. So this is the outermost frame of DC generator, which is having or which is called yoke or magnetic frame. There is a magnetic frame. This is a pole fastened to the magnetic frame, and pole which is having field winding and pole shoes. So here this is the pole and this is the pole shoes. So this is placed on pole is that is field winding. Pole shoes are fastened to the surface of the pole and it is bolted fastened with the bolt, and this is called armature commutator armature, which is armature winding. So this is commutator segment. The inside is shaft. Inside is shaft. These are the part of a DC generator. Next, one by one I am going to discuss about the individual parts of the DC generator. First one is yoke. The outermost frame, here we are shown that outermost frame is known as yoke. It consists of, it made up of high permeability material possessing sufficient mechanical strength. Cast iron is used in small machines and cast steel or roll steel is employed in large machines. The yoke serves two folds. It protects the entire machine from dust and dirt and also provides mechanical support for the magnetic poles. It acts as the return path for the magnetic flux. So next one is pole. Pole cores and pole shoes. The field magnet consists of pole core and pole shoes. In modern design, the complete pole cores and pole shoes are made up of thin laminations about 0.5 mm thick. Annealed steel which are pressed together and riveted and screw secured to the yoke by means of screw bolted into steel rod. The main function of the pole core is to establish the required magnetic flux. The field winding is placed on the pole core. When current passes through the field winding, the core becomes an electromagnet and establishes the magnetic flux. The flux can be varied by varying the current through field winding. Pole shoe serves to fold. This is used for double purpose. It distributes the magnetic flux uniformly in the air gap and reduces the reluctance of the magnetic path due to its larger cross section. It supports the field winding. Next one I am going to discuss about field winding. Field winding is located around the pole. Pole shoes are pasted in the surface of the pole. Next slide. We are going to discuss about field winding. This is here shown field winding. This is North Pole or pole shoes. Here you can see that pole shoes are field winding. Here field winding. The field winding consists of enamel coated copper or aluminum wire and are former wound to fit over the pole core. When current is passed through the winding coils, the electromagnetic the pole core which produce the necessary magnetic flux. All the field coils are connected in such a way that the adjacent poles are made up of opposite polarities. Next one is armature core. Here you can see that this is the armature core. You are observing here. You can see that. Let us say this is armature core. Number of slots. These slots are placed in the conductors are placed in the slots and it is laminated, completely laminated. Why these slots and conductors are placed inside the slots and again these are laminated? For purposes to reduce the eddy current loss of that point of view, we are laminating the armature core. So here we are going to discuss in detail about this armature core is. Armature core is a cylindrical in shape and built up of high permeability silicon steel stampings or laminations of 0.5 mm thick. Is stampings being separated from the neighboring one by varnish. The purpose of using lamination is to reduce eddy current loss, whereas the high permeability silicon steel is used to minimize the hysteresis loss. Slots are provided on the outer periphery of the core to house the winding in proper position, and the keyway is provided on the inner diameter to fix it on the shaft. Air holes or ventilating ducts are provided which permits the axial flow of the air for cooling purpose. And all the laminations are immersed in varnish and after drying up they are pressed together by means of hydraulic press or by other means to form an armature. Insulating paper is placed in the slots to form a closed loop and maybe either in lap or wave fashion. When the shaft is driven, the armature and armature winding also rotate in between the magnetic poles. The armature core serves the following purposes. It houses the armature conductor in slot. It provides path of low reluctance to the magnetic flux. Next, we're going to discuss about armature winding. So here, these are slots and conductor placed in the armature winding. So here, in detail, I am going to provide the information about armature winding. Armature winding are usually farmer wound. These are fast wound in a form of rectangular coils and are then pulled into the proper shape. The coils are insulated from each other. Conductors are placed in the armature slots, which are lined with insulating material. These slots insulation is folded over above the armature conductors placed in the slots. A fresh insulating paper will be placed over the conductors and is secured in place by wooden or fiber wedges. EMF can be induced in a stationary conductors or moving conductor that is in the armature winding. According to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, next one is commutator. You know that there is a commutator is connected to a armature, a shaft. The commutator is of cylindrical in shape and is made up of wedges and is wedges shaped high conductivity hard drawn copper mag segment. These segments are insulated from each other by a thin layer of mica. Each commutator segment is connected to armature coils. So these are the individual commutator segments. So here you are observing these are commutator segments. These commutator segments are connected to the armature coils. These are armature coils. Commutator segments are connected to the armature coils. This is the commutator connected to the armature coils. The commutator is an important part of DC generator. It facilitates the collecting of current from armature conductors. It converts the alternating current induced in the armature conductor into unidirectional current in the external load circuit. It is fixed on the main shaft on one of the sides of armature and rotates with armature winding. The armature winding terminals are connected to the commutator's risers. So, and here you are observing this is the commutator. All these are commutator segment. All commutator segments are connected to the armature coils. You are observing, and their functions you are observing here. Next slide we are going to discuss about brushes and bearings. You know the why. What are the importance of brushes? Brush, the function of the brush is to collect a current from rotating commutator and deliver it to the external stationary load circuit. They are usually made up of high grade carbon and are housed in brush holders. The brush holders are secured to the front end housing with clamps. The bushings are held under pressure over the commutator. The pressure being provided by a tension adjoining the spring, a flexible copper pigtail mounted at the top of the brush convey the from the brushes. Advantages of brushes: facilitate the collection of current from rotating commutator to stationary terminals. Carbon brushes minimize sparking. Carbon brushes are cheap. Right? Next. So this is where in detail explanation about parts of DC generator. Next type of windings actually used in DC generator. First one is, these are two types: lap winding, wave winding. Lap winding, which actually depend as, in lap winding the conductors are joined in such a way that their parallel paths and poles are equal in number. What is that? There are parallel paths and poles are equal in number. So means parallel paths, number of parallel paths equal to number of poles. The end of each armature coil is connected to the adjacent segment. The end of each armature coil is connected to the adjacent segment on commutator. So we observe in commutator segment, which is having number of commutator segment. The each segment is connected to the armature coil, right? So that means the end of each armature coil is connected to adjacent segment on the commutator. We are discussing in case of the parallel winding. The number of brushes in lap winding equal to the number of parallel paths. So there is a number of poles is equal to number of number of parallel paths. A number of parallel paths is equal to number of brushes. All are equal. The number of brushes in a lap winding is equal to the number of parallel paths. And these brushes are equally divided into, one is negative and second is the positive polarity. So these polarities we are observing when we are connecting lap winding in case of the DC generators. The lap winding is mainly used in low voltage and high current machine applications. Lap windings are mainly used in low voltage, high current machine applications. So we are applying current is low, but current passed in the circuit is when we are applying this type of winding is high. This current caused to produce high magnetic flux to induce EMF in the conductor. So, here you can see north pole, south poles, commutator segment, 1, 2, 3. 1 is directly connected to 2, 2 is connected to 3. 1 is connected to, here you can see that 1 is connected to 2, 2 is connected to 3. So in coils, what is a 2 starting end of the one coil This is again to this one is finish end of one coil. This starting end, this is finishing end of the one coil. These two are connected to the commutator segment or commutator coil. Coil 1, coil 2, this is coil 1, this is coil 2. This is starting end, this is finishing end. Connected to the commutator segment. This type of windings called app type of winding. In wave windings, so generally we are observing wave winding like a wave type. In wave winding, only two parallel paths are provided. Wave winding is how many parallel? When only two parallel paths. So between positive and negative presses, there is a two parallel paths are connected in case of the wave winding. The finishing end of the one armature coil is connected to starting end of the other armature coil. In case of the lap winding, we are also discussing same point, but point is different as compared to the wave winding. Wave winding we are discussing is finishing end of the armature coil is connected to the starting end of the other armature coil. In this winding, the conductors are connected to two parallel paths irrespective of the number of poles of the machine. The number of brushes is equal to the number of parallel paths. The number of brushes is equal to the number of parallel paths. So here we are discussing the wave winding. There are a parallel paths and brush equal brush. Both two are equal in numbers. But these type of windings are used in high voltage and low current machines. Where we are using for the which these are applicable for high voltage and low current applications. This type of windings we are used. So this is also you can observe in the diagram. So there is a north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole. Coil 1 finishing and starting. End coil 1, end coil 2 you are observing. Finishing starting join at one segment of commutator. We are observing in case of the wave winding. This is finishing starting join at a common point of the commutator segment here. This is finishing, this is starting. Both the two coils are joined at a commutator segment, one common segment. Right. We are observing, studying about lap and wave windings. Lap one wave windings. The number of parallel paths in case of the lap and winding is equal to the number of poles. In case of the wave winding, number of parallel paths are equivalent to 2. Then we can write a comparison. We can write comparison between lap and wave windings. When we are comparing these two windings, we got so many difference in between them. First of all, connection. The end of the lap winding, the end of the armature coil is connected to an adjacent segment on the commutator. In case of the wave winding, the end of the armature coil is connected to commutator segment some distance apart, parallel path. Already we discussed in lap winding. There is a number of parallel paths are equal to number of poles. In when we are comparing parallel path in case of the lap winding and wave winding, there are number of poles n is equal to p. Number of parallel paths is equal to number of poles. In case of wave winding, the number of parallel paths is equal to number of poles. So, in case of the lap winding, the EMF induced in lap winding is very less as compared to the wave winding. Because a lap type winding is having low voltage and high current. Wave type winding is having high voltage, low current. That is the condition for inducing EMF is less in case of the lap winding. EMF is more in case of the wave winding. Next, number of brushes in case of the lap winding and wave winding. There is a equal number of parallel paths. Brushes are equal to the number of parallel paths. How many paths is there? There is a fluxes equal to the number of parallel paths. There is a number of brushes in case of the lap winding. But in case of the wave winding, the number of brushes is only two. That is negative or positive polarities. So next one is lap type windings are classified into two types. Simplex type lap winding, duplex type lap winding. In case of the wave winding, these are progressive and retrogressive wave windings are classified. These two are important windings in case of DC generators. Next, their performance and efficiency is less in case of lap winding, efficiency less in case of the lap winding. Their efficiency is more in case of the wave winding. Wave windings are shown high efficiency. Next one is so you can see that lap windings and wave windings when you are comparing they are requiring the additional coil. What are the additional coils? In case of the lap winding, equalizer rings connected. In case of wave winding, dummy coils. The cost of the winding in case of the lap winding is very high. In case of the wave winding, low. Lap windings are used for low voltage and high current machines. Wave winding is used for high voltage and low current machines. Are you getting my point or not? This comparison is most important in the examination point of view. Then all of you are note this comparison and prepare a note, submit a assignment to concerned teacher. So these are definitely they will ask in the examination this type of question. Compare the lap winding and wave winding. So all of you note and write a assignment and submit to concerned teacher. Okay, next slide. I am going to discuss about questions and answer session. Are you once again I can remember what I taught in this class today. Construction details, construction of DC generator. Before we are going to discuss the questions and answer session. In this session, what we have to discuss once we are remember. So the construction of DC generator construction, parts of DC generator, and lap windings, wave winding, comparison between lap and wave winding, we have to discuss. So here construction, you are observing uppermost part is a yoke, inside is poles, next armature, commutator segments, shaft, brushes, everything we are observing in construction of the DC generator. So the part of the DC generator, we are observing having the different type of parts. Yoke, pole, pole shoes, field winding, armature, armature winding, commutator, commutator segment, brushes and bearings, shaft. These all is individual parts also we are discussing. What is definition? The definition, applications, uses we are discussed. And next one is in this session, so the most important one is questions and answer session. Come on, I am going to ask one question. Anyone can we give the answer? Where is field winding is mounted in a DC machine? All of you listen. My question. Where is field winding mounted in a DC machine? A. Stator. B. Rotor. C. Absent. D. Anywhere on stator or rotor. Which one is the correct answer? If it is the correct, then you can explain about how. This answer is correct. If it is false, how this false answer you are going to give in a statement. If it is a correct, explain. Come on, anyone? Are you getting anyone my point? Right. If you are listening to my question, give the following answers. Right, anyone? Give the answer. Understood. The question is understand or not? Right, it is understand. Once again, I can explain about the question. Where is field winding mounted in a DC machine? We have seen that in construction of DC generator, the uppermost part is the mechanic, which is having the high mechanical strength or protected device, that is yokes. Inside the yoke are pole. On a pole up on the pole, there is a field winding. On surface of the pole, there is a pole shoes is fastened with a bolt. The question is where is the field winding is mounted in a DC machine? Right? So where is the field winding is mounted? On pole surface. Right. So means where is that pole surface is located? On stator. So here the field winding mounted on a DC machine is stator. Answer is A. The field winding is mounted on a silent pole of DC generator, the stator. Armature winding distributor is wound in the cylindrical rotor. Right, answer is A. Very good. Right, another question. What are the materials used for buses? What are the materials used for buses in DC machine? So question is, brushes are used Which material used for brushes in DC machines? That's the question. A iron, B carbon, C aluminium, D steel. Right? Anyone give the answer? A, B, C, D. Which one is correct? Question is, what are the materials used for buses in DC machine? A iron, B carbon, C aluminium, D steel. Which question is correct? If it is correct, explain. Why? Come on. Right? You don't know anyone? Already yes, discussed about in parts of DC constructions. In individual parts I discussed. Yoke, what type of material is used, pole shoes, brushes, segments, commutator, everything we are discussing. Which type of material actually used in case for the construction. So my question is, are you understanding about my question? Brush, which type of material? What are the material used for brushes in DC machine? That is the question. We don't know anyone, right? The answer is B, carbon. The answer is B, carbon. The answer is B, carbon. So here, some extent carbon brush can act as a self-luminous brush on moment polishes a commutator segment. Brush is the material of carbon. Next, question number 3. Function of yoke is to provide the return path for a magnetic flux. In parts, it is one of the part of DC generator. We are also explained in detailed information about yoke. What the question is? Function of yoke is to provide the return path for magnetic flux. Yoke is provide the magnetic path for magnetic path for return path for magnetic flux. Yes or no? True or false? That is the question. Yes. Yes, yoke is provide return path for the magnetic flux because yoke is a completely protective device, which is having high mechanical strength, which is protected the entire part from dust and dirt to give more to give long life and high efficiency. The function of yoke is that it protects the entire machine from dust and dirt. It also provides mechanical support for the magnetic poles. It acts as return path for the magnetic flux. It acts as the return path for the magnetic flux because of it is a high mechanical strength, which is having high mechanical strength and the protective device to the entire part which are located inside the yoke. All of you getting my point or not? Right now we are going to discuss about next slide is the angle made by brushes with x of adjoining field poles is A 415, B 1800, C 900, D 300. Right answer is C 900. This is also a most important question. In a DC machine, rectification process is carried out in order to get unidirectional output DC. This rectification process is carried out by which? Excellent. Question is most important. Alternating currents are converted to unidirectional current to external load. AC is converted into a DC. So the question you are getting or understanding the question, in DC machine rectification process is carried out in order to get unidirectional output. This rectification process is carried out by mechanical rectification. Actually in DC machines electronic rectification is not used. Instead of mechanical rectification is used with the help of commutator brush assembly. The function of the commutator, convert into AC to DC. Right? So here clearly explain the answer. All of you will read the number of questions. You can understand the particular point why the question is asked and answer and write the explanation. This will help you when you are getting the explain, where you are analyzing the question for answer. Subject will be improved. This will help to give the answer in the competitive examination. Right. Next one is what B will be the value of YA plus YB for a wave winding. When you are learned and practicing wave winding, you will get this answer for double of the YC value. Double of the YC value. In detail explanation we are providing and go through the standard book, you learn it. You can learn your drawing, engineering, electrical engineering drawing, everything they can provide to you to get the more information for this answer. Number of parallel paths in a wave winding are equal to P. Equal to P by 2. Equal to 2. Depend on other parameters. Which one is the correct answer? We are discussing about wave winding. There are number of parallel paths equal to number of poles. We are discussing about the wave winding. There are number of parallel paths equal to 2. But there is answer is 2. Right? Answer is, so detailed information we are explaining in the previous class and previous slides. So go through the standard textbooks, you can follow it. We are also providing explanation. All of you note this answer. Next one is Assignment. Once completion of this period, all of you write and submit your assignment to your concerned teacher. What are the question I asked and I give to you? You can submit, write the answer to the concerned teacher. One is define pole shoes. What is pole shoes? Where these are located? What is commutator? We had explained. What is brushes? We are explained. These questions are defined and related questions they developed and asked in the examination repeatedly. So you must concentration like on pole shoes, commutator and brushes. Second one assignment is explain construction details of DC generator with net sketch. Compare in any four aspects between lap and wave windings. Compare in any four aspects between lap and wave windings. Thank you all of you. Thank you. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about next slide. That is losses in DC generators, EMF equations, condition for the maximum efficiency. I am going to discuss these topics. Once I came to the class, first of all I asked the question in the last class what we are discussed. So all of you carefully read it at your home. Thank you. Thank you.